Hello, my name is Katarina Crkonova, and I am with the program on the environment at the University of Washington. Today, I'm going to be presenting my capstone research. My research title is What Goes Around Comes Around, Educating Children on the Composting Cycle. This research is important because currently around 60% of municipal waste goes to landfills, and about 13% of that comes from food waste, and another 14% comes from yard trimmings. And this is stuff that could easily be diverted and used elsewhere. But currently, due to a lack of access to knowledge on proper composting habits, whether it be in schools or limited on-site activities due to COVID restrictions, there need to be more at-home activities. I am specifically looking at these activities geared towards children, since this is an age when they're in their most developmental years and the habits they form now are taken with them into adulthood. And so I worked with Cedar Grove over the summer, and we created some educational materials to be posted online that people could then download. Figures 1 and 3 show examples of some of the materials. Figure 1 is a more simple activity, it's just a coloring sheet, while figure 3 is instructions on how to make a potato stamp. And so I then compiled these materials into a survey, which was sent out to people who are around children, whether this be parents, teachers, nannies, siblings, family members, anybody was able to answer. I did have a very large age range from infants to 15 and up. So then that kind of created a broad response. However, the overall consensus was that the more interactive these materials were, the more successful people thought they were going to be, because respondents were shown the materials and were asked to kind of give feedback on how interactive and how informative they found them to be. The ones that were more interactive were found to be the favorite of the respondents. Figure 2 shows a ranked list of which materials were thought to be the favorites. As you can see, the figure 3, the potato stamp, was the most popular. That is probably because it was most interactive, and figure 1 was the least popular, simply because that was just a coloring sheet, so there's not much information to go along with it. And this research is important because currently landfills, they emit toxic materials and greenhouse gases that are going to harm future generations. So being able to create these materials that are geared towards forming proper habits and forming this mentality within children, get them excited and get them mindful about their environment, is going to be really important, especially since this is not stuff that they're learning in schools. Many schools do not include this sort of stuff in their curriculum. There are some schools kind of in the North American continent that are trying to incorporate it. There's examples of having composting bins in classes or incorporating some sort of composting terminology in classes, either whether it be writing jingles in a music class or aerating their compost in a gym class, or using, in their chemistry classes, talking about the chemistry behind composting. So there are cases, however, it's not the overall standard. And so because of this, having access to at-home materials allows people in a broader range to take the effort and take the time to learn more about composting, to limit what goes into the landfill and what can be recycled. Composting is the most basic form of recycling. You're taking the nutrients from plants, food scraps, compostable materials, organic materials, and putting it back into the earth. And then this also helps benefit people's soil. It creates healthier food. It creates more nutritious gardens, farms, you name it. So it is a very important thing to do. I would like to take this time to also acknowledge my site supervisor, Maggie Brown, and my faculty advisor, Leah Rubinsky. And I would also just like to thank my family, friends, and my cohorts for all their support during this time. And I want to thank you for watching my presentation, and have a great day.